And we are live. Hello, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Me and Ryan were arguing. Didn't realize it was time to go live because that's just what we do. Because even if it's whether it's on the internet or whether it's just hanging
It's
out,
not fake. Yeah.
it's not.
So
It's not. But we do have a lot to talk about today. Everybody's a little tired. We had a banger Tuesday night's main event last night over on the Geeks and Gamers channel. Suresh was our special guest, and it was awesome. And so we got a lot to talk about. Everybody's gotten a little bit of rest. Ryan, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm ready to talk about Biden. While there's an actual disaster going on here in America, he's literally as far from that place as could possibly be by deciding to go to Ukraine.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
love it.
That's going to be the main focus of today's show.
And I love that Trump is going there.
Yes.
And
yes.
we've talked a lot about what's going on with Trump and what's going on with this whole Republican stuff that's going to happen in 2024. I think this is like a great move for Trump, and this is the shit he should be totally focused on because this is going to do big things, I think, for him.
Yeah, no, this is the momentum's dealt. There's a massive shift for Trump in the last couple of weeks, I feel, and he's gonna you got to step in and take full advantage. Because Biden is a fucking disaster. Like, I know there's a lot of hyperbole with political talking points these days on both sides. Totally understand that. Joe Biden is objectively, he is the worst president we have ever seen, and it's unbelievable how bad things are, and I don't think people have fully comprehended it. It's like a slow burn at this point that it's happening. But we also got Suresh here. How you doing, Suresh?
I'm doing well. I am recovering from last night's stream as well, but I got to tell you, I woke up this morning and I'm like, why does my face hurt? And I realized it was because we were laughing.
That's all
like
we did last
90% of the time. My cheeks literally hurt. It was oh man, that was so much fun. I can't thank you enough for the invite. I can't wait to do it again. That was a lot of fun, and what an awesome group of people.
Yeah, man, it was so much fun, and that's what we do. We do so much laughing during Tuesday night's main event. And before we get started, I got to show everybody this meme because memes become realities. So, so Drunk 3PO, we had some discussions about Jay, and he basically, Krista posed a question to him: if you could be any animal, what animal would you be? Jay, the only human being on the planet, says that he wants to be a cow. So you can play with his udders, apparently. So this is some fan art, some Legion of Memer stuff right here. There's Jay as a cow. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What the hell is going on?
This might be the next plushie.
It looks like Jay.
It does look like Jay. It's so bad. What in the world? Look at that.
Oh my god.
So I figure we start out with a few laughs before we get into some heavy stuff, because there's a lot of heavy stuff to talk about. Whether it's what's going on with the fact that President Joe Biden, I don't even like to refer to him as that, but to make the point, this is the president of the United States of America, and he is more concerned with going over to a country that is having a conflict with Russia, but we don't have American boots on the ground, and he's ignoring this terrible situation in Ohio right now. And he made it a surprise trip. He even has his little markers out there where he can go do his photo ops. We're how dumb does the media think that people are at this point in time? So Ukraine's supposed to be a war-torn country. They're putting fake sirens off as Joe Biden's walking around. We've seen actors, we've seen celebrities, we've just seen whoever go into Ukraine and do photo ops, but it's supposed to be this war-torn country. Now Joe Biden's just doing a secret fly over there for a photo op, but it's a war-torn country. This is insanity.
And of course, right as he gets there, even though there's been no MiGs in the air, there's been no bullets flying, there's been no nothing, all of a sudden, an air raid siren just happens to go off at that time.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Like, imagine if if the Russians, of course, I'm no fan of Russia. Okay. I think we should be as not involved in this conflict as possible. But imagine if like it was really what they were thinking, like Putin's intent on destroying fucking Ukraine right now. Everybody knew Biden was going to be there. Everybody knew all this stuff. And, you know, nothing happened. It's weird how that works.
It's wild, man. And, you know, so right now, as we're recording, I believe that President Trump is en route to Ohio, to Palestine. Is that correct? He's en route right now.
He is. Yes, he might be there already. He might be there already.
Yeah. And I wanted to, obviously, here on this channel, especially as of late, I have done a lot of roasting of one Tim Pool, but it actually had some really interesting points last night that on Timcast. So I wanted to play a clip really quick because I think Trump's doing some really cool stuff right now, and it's really it's having an impact. So so this was his they were reacting a little bit to his speech, and a little discussion happens right after, which Ian kind of goes full TDS because, you know, that's what he does. But Tim, I've been critical of Tim because he basically says Donald Trump was the greatest president of my lifetime, but I don't think he needs to run anymore. And I just think it's so stupid. Like, yes, he is the greatest president we've ever had, and we need him now more than ever, in my opinion. But let's listen to a little bit of this really quick.
People have been seeking confrontation for a long time, much like the case in Iraq and other parts of the world. And now we're teetering on the brink of World War III. And a lot of people don't see it, but I see it. And I've been right about a lot of things. They all say Trump's been right about everything. None of this.
That's what Ian gets triggered over, because Trump does his. They all say Trump's been right about everything. And that really triggered Ian.
But he has.
I know he has.
They also, thank you. Who is they though?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
What's Trump trying to say?
I watched this video until that moment and shut it off earlier as well. Right after he said, "Quote: They all say Trump's been right about everything." This hyperbolic madness is not poised for office. I'm sorry, the guy's not stable.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Complete idiocy to say that kind of thing.
Excuse me, excuse me, wrong.
Everyone says I'm the greatest at everything. Like, who the hell talks like that?
Look, man,
no, it's a lie. That's not a true statement. He's a liar.
Hyperbole and lies are distinct.
Yes, hyperbole can be a lie as well.
I mean, Trump being boastful and talking like that is kind of something I would roll my eyes at. But I got to be real with the East Palestine stuff. With seeing Joe Biden go to Ukraine, I'm like, I'm voting for Trump. Like Ron DeSantis has the tact. He's got good policy. He's done great for Florida. But just like this was such an unnerving move that Joe Biden did with this Ukraine trip. It was like getting punched in the balls as hard as possible. And we need a bloviating braggart like Trump who really will go down to East Palestine if that's what it takes. Like I like Ron DeSantis, but he does. I don't know, man. I can't explain it. It's like Ron DeSantis has done a really good job. He's given us a lot of what we want. We've seen a lot of tremendous success, but he's a VP. He's a commander. He's a lieutenant. He's a number one. Donald Trump is the crazy guy who's like, get me a plane. I'm flying to East Palestine right now. And Joe Biden's the guy who says, whatever my boss tells me to do, I'll go do, and then gives away our money. And then Ron DeSantis is the guy who's like, yeah, we're going to do it right. We're going to fix it. We're going to get what people want. But that's a COO, not a CEO. Trump's
all right,
CEO. DeSantis is COO.
All right. So what do you guys think about that? And again, I thought that was a really cool point. Ian is a fucking... Who talks like that? Trump does. Trump's been talking like that for fucking 40 years in the public eye. Like it's a meme at this point. Like I understand, like just saying that at this point in time is just stupid. Like Trump talks like that. We all know he talks like that. Go ahead, Ryan.
I think you have criticisms from maybe like the way Trump says some things. Not that. Like not at all that.
Not that.
Like that's not that at all in any way, shape, or form. From like a video that he's putting out, whatever. I did like. What do you mean by they? I did like that from Tim. That was funny. That was funny. I don't necessarily agree maybe with the instance of the DeSantis stuff, but 100% with the Trump stuff, it's right. And I think this is where it's a very advantageous situation for Trump because we've seen this before. He goes down to Puerto Rico, right? The people of Puerto Rico don't necessarily like Trump. I don't think necessarily, you know what I mean? Who knows how these people would feel about Trump? It's not like he's their hardcore supporters down in Puerto Rico, but he went there. He traveled there. He freaking he Kobe'd paper towels to these people. He's done that in every disaster zone we've seen that happened under his presidency during his time as president, whether these people voted for him or not, whether they were Trump supporters or not, whether it was like downtown inner city Houston or something like that, or whether it's in, East Ohio. And that is what people, I think, really want to see. That's what Trump's really fucking good at, is showing, even though he's a multi-millionaire, billionaire guy, he is able to show how in touch he is with a small town of 5,000 people in Ohio by going and talking to them and hugging them and listening to them. While Biden is across the country or across the globe, getting ready to start World War III. And that it's just such a great dichotomy, and it's perfect for Trump to head there.
Yep.
And Trump had to go there. Trump had to go there. See, a lot of people are saying, well, let me not say a lot of people, but there are some people on the left.
Everybody says Trump was right about everything. Everyone says Suresh was right about everything. No.
How did no one on that panel say, what was he wrong about?
Yeah.
What was he wrong about?
The only thing you can say Trump was wrong about is the Trump shots. You know what I mean? Because he was pushing the vax and all that. But like outside of that, name the thing that Trump was wrong about generally. There's not really anything he was wrong about outside of the vaccination stuff. That's the one thing you can pin against him.
Right. He was right about Russia. He was right about Germany's dependency on Russia for energy. He was right about gas prices. He was right about the stock market. I mean, so in that moment, I would have said, outside of his move to push the jabs, I would have said, what was one thing Donald Trump said that he said was going to happen if Joe Biden became president that did not come to fruition? Everything pretty much has come to fruition. So that aside, I think Trump had to go to Ohio, because I know that if he didn't, and in however many months he's campaigning and brings this up, they would have said, well, where were you? Where were you? And that's why this is a strategic move by Donald Trump. He's going there. He's putting his own feet on the ground there. And I know he's going to bring his own version of aid to the people there who the federal government is not helping. We are now scratching $100 billion to the Ukraine. $100 billion in aid, in equipment, and we can't send. And the president has a lot of people. And I went back and forth with someone on this, and of course they completely disappeared and they didn't respond. In one of the chats, they're like, "Oh, the president can't just send money somewhere on his own." So I literally clipped from the FEMA website the paragraph that says the president can 100, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, DeWine is not responding to Biden's phone calls." First of all, Biden isn't calling DeWine. He's in the Ukraine, walking around with fake air raid sirens. Okay, so he's not. But the other thing is, Biden could have seen what happened there. It's been 3 weeks now. 3 weeks now, and there hasn't been an iota of federal aid. 7 days ago, DeWine asked for a federal aid and has not gotten it yet. FEMA is trying to play the game saying that this is not really a FEMA disaster, because they say FEMA disasters are hurricanes and tornadoes and things like that. This is a freaking disaster that's affecting thousands, at least we could say thousands. It may be way more. There's people in Canada smelling these chlorine gases. So how are they saying this is not a natural, okay, maybe not a natural, it was a man-made instance because they blew up the chemicals themselves, but there are Americans suffering there. And the fact that the president of our country didn't even have the decency to say, hey, listen, let's reroute. Let's stop in Ohio for a minute, even if it's for the photo op and for like optics, and then continue on to Ukraine. How did no one on his cabinet say, hey, you should stop there real quick? And Mayor Pete is avoiding Ohio like it never even happened. This is, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. This is so cringy and disgusting that this is how Americans are being treated. Now, I know that that county where Palestine, Ohio is they voted over 70% for Trump in the last election. Got it. But that doesn't matter. If you can't put that aside right now and help these people who they're not even talking about how many people are going to the ER with skin rashes, scratchy throats, watery eyes. They're not talking about all the animals that are dropping dead there. The woman, I saw the video, the woman posted, she came out the next day after they did the explosion. All of her chickens were dead. I was like, this is not like a normal situation. Something is really going wrong here, and these people need help. And the fact that Biden didn't even have the decency to stop there, and he's in the Ukraine hugging Zelensky with fake sirens going around, I'm like, this is disgusting.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you, I talked about this recently, and I don't think it probably would have been a big deal regardless. But so we had that situation a couple of weeks ago here right outside of Orlando, in Kissimmee, where they had the plant, their nursery kind of have
it's a nursery
fire.
that caught on fire. Yeah,
it was a big fire. It was a big situation. I think local authorities basically said, if you're in the area, stay inside. I knew that Ron DeSantis was my governor, and it was going to be fine. Ron DeSantis is going to get involved. It's going to be taken care of. No big deal. You know what I mean? And that's just a confidence of having a strong leader and strong leadership. And right now, yeah, obviously, like with Joe Biden, like all people really want is for him to show that he even cares. Even if he didn't mean it, go there. And even if you're there to do a photo op, that does so much for people. Just, okay, at least the government cares enough to come here and put some attention on this. That's the act. Like Benny Johnson during his live stream, was showing all of these things that Trump did, throughout his presidency when there were local disasters in certain areas. Trump and Melania would go and visit and talk and interact with the local people of that area. That is powerful stuff, man. You can say, oh, well, Trump was just doing it for whatever. That's fine if you believe that, but it doesn't matter why he did it. It matters that it mattered to the people that he did it for. And that's where the failure on Joe Biden's part is right now. And not only that, but for him to not only not go there, but then to add insult to injury by what he did with Ukraine and Zelensky when United States soldiers are not even on the ground there. This is crazy and terrifying. Then you've got Putin's comments that we haven't even really gotten into. This is about to get really fucking bad. And I don't think, how long is Ukraine going for? They said almost a year now, right? Like
it's officially like a year, basically. Yeah.
This has been going on. Like, I feel like this is one of these slow burns. You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you right now, within the next year, we're going to be there. Like, not just American paid contractors, we are going to be there.
I agree.
That's where this is all headed right now. Yeah. And that it is going to could potentially be a like world changing disaster. It's not like when we're going into Afghanistan. We're literally at Russia's fucking door, and it could get nasty. It could get potentially very deadly for Americans and maybe the rest of the world. And it
Ryan,
is the wrong
you know how
person
it's going to start. You know how it's going to start, Ryan, because you've been there. They're going to start out by saying, we're going to send a small contingent of troops. A small contingent. And they're
peacekeeping forces.
Yeah. Right. Peacekeeping. It's only going to be X number of troops, which won't even be the truth, but it's going to be a very small number that doesn't sound alarming, but the actual number will probably be quadruple that. And that's how it's going to begin. And then what happens next is they say, those few need support. So we need to send in more to support that small contingent of people that we send. And that's it. That's the beginning.
Yeah,
you're right.
When you look at, you gotta, again, there's criticism for Trump, but when you look at the geopolitical landscape, that was something he was super fucking solid on, like super solid with what he was doing. And even when he talked about Russia, he's like, why would we want to be enemies with Russia? Like, why would we intentionally want to be enemies with Russia instead of having an actual decent working relationship with them? Because if we're enemies with them, it's just going to drive them right into the hands of China. And then you'll have Russia and China working together. What's happened since this war in Ukraine started? All the trade between Russia and China is up because they're the only ones that'll deal with each other. So Russia's buying a shit more stuff from China. China's buying a shit more stuff from Russia. Like, that partnership is only strengthening. So like everything from that perspective is playing out exactly how probably a lot of people want it to play out, but also how Trump warned that it would play out.
Trump was big on keeping your enemies closer. And that's what people didn't understand. People were like, why is Trump so in love with Putin? Trump's not stupid. He was keeping his enemies closer. Everyone knows that statement. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. That's what he was doing. It was a strategic move. And people were so dumb. And now look what's happening. Now look, once again, everything he said it. He said it. I want to say he said it like maybe 3 years ago at this point. Watch the relationship between China and Russia. When you see that relationship strengthening, everyone needs to get concerned. And Ryan, you just hit on it. What's the percentage increase in China importing goods and relying on Russia now? I heard
it's like 40% somewhere around there, something like that.
It's crazy.
I mean, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just put your shoes in, or put your feet in Russia's shoes. 1990, right? Whenever the Cold War ends, right around that time frame, and you say, "All right, we're going to dissolve this stuff. The only thing we want is to make sure there's some sort of barrier between us and the people who are all aligned to destroy us. That's what we want. We're Russia. That's what we want." And we say, "Okay, no worries. That's fine. Pretend we're the United States." And all this shit's going on. Chile, Argentina, Brazil, all these people in South America, they fucking want to destroy you. They've basically won this war, all this stuff. Okay, that's fine. Just don't come into Mexico. We just want a little bit of barrier between us and the people who want to destroy us. But then you keep creeping in. All of a sudden, Central America starts, "Oh, well, you're going to be part of our group. You're going to be part of our group. You're going to be part of our group. Hey, guys, really don't want you to go any further. We don't feel very comfortable with it. That's all we want. Just stay out of Mexico. Hey, we're going to come to Mexico and we're going to put fucking missiles right at your doorstep." How would we react if we were America? And so like, that's the mindset you have to be in when you're looking at Russia and why Russia's doing some of these things. I'm no fan of Russia, no friend of Vladimir Putin, but you have to understand on a global scale what they're looking at and what they're thinking about when they're taking these steps.
And as I've said, and this was my response to Benny Johnson the other day on Twitter. We love Benny. Benny's great. This is going to be the distraction for 2024. This is it. This is what we're looking at. And just be prepared for it, because it's going to happen. This is what the distraction will be as to why we can't reelect Trump, why Biden's leadership is so important. Like, this is going to be the narrative. It's going to be the mainstream narrative. It's going to be the big tech narrative. This is going to be the distraction. And the fact that we're in a situation with war is a distraction again. Like, it's just unbelievable. But this is a different level. I think, as Ryan said earlier, like, this isn't Afghanistan. This isn't Iraq. This is potentially a World War III that is going to have impact all across the globe. This is not a situation where we're just going to sit back and watch TV and see what's going on. This is going to have an impact on us and our soil potentially. That's what happens when you let these left-wing lunatics have control. What did they say about Trump? That he was going to start all these wars, that he's too unhinged, all of this. And Trump brought historic peace during his presidency. The world respected us. Other world leaders wouldn't dare cross him. And now look where we're at, where you have a current disaster within our own country, and the president of the United States won't even acknowledge it, but he's willing to travel overseas to a country that we don't even have boots on the ground. And you have to ask yourself why.
Now, Jeremy,
Joe Biden's not in charge, by the way. He's just not.
No,
this is weekend at Bernie's. Go ahead,
but here's the other thing, and you're spot on about what is coming next. But let's take a look at what our military looks like now. From a structural standpoint, I would venture to say our military, from a personnel standpoint, and Ryan, you probably can provide a little bit more light on this. I would say it's weaker today than it has been in, I can't remember how long. So if
1,000%.
we enter into this conflict, not only are we entering into this conflict, which is good for nobody, but think about what are we entering with as far as the strength of our military? It's actually terrifying.
That's actually a point I haven't even thought about. And I'm glad you brought that up. Go ahead, Ryan.
It's bad from the standpoint of what are we focusing on instead of war fighting. That was always a big conversation. Now, I was in nuclear power. I'm sitting there in the center of the ship. I never had anything to do with actually any kind of defense or offense, anything like that. That wasn't me. I was the guy who made sure the ship had power, the ship was going, stuff like that. But I did spend some time at a submarine training facility when I was on shore duty. And those guys obviously are much more tactical and mindful of that thing, and always about war fighting, making sure that we are equipped for war. And over the past decade, even I'll say this, even while Trump was in office, okay, we have just seen the continued degradation of the military from a standpoint of readiness, from a standpoint of focusing on things that have nothing to do with keeping us safe. Fucking whether it's identity politics, whether it's virtue signaling, whether it's critical race theory training, whether it's gender equality training, all of this stuff's taken up so much time. Just the other day, the Navy officially reset a bunch of people's PRT status, their physical readiness their physical readiness test. So if you are a fat fuck and you failed your last several assessments, you get it reset because they don't want to kick people out right now. That, like, we literally have fat people that are remaining in the military because the Navy can't afford to kick them out because of the manning problems they would have. Like, oh, of course you got this shit,
Yeah, that's who's going to protect us, everybody. That's here. Go ahead, Ryan. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, that's who's going to protect us right there. So
yeah, it's not fucked. Good. And from a all I can speak is for the Navy, right? That's my only experience. I don't know about anybody else. In terms of us, in terms of how far we are behind with some of the shipbuilding that was intended to happen. Of course, those unionized contract workers, they always, work really hard, don't they? But a lot of it's behind. We're undermanned. We don't have the material that we do need sometimes because it's just been delayed so much. So we still have a inherent technological advantage over everybody else. The one thing that I think you can take out of this whole Russia-Ukraine thing, that if you're looking for a white pill, is how badly Russia, how poorly in shape all their shit is. Like, from all of their material, all of their equipment, all of everything, it seems like they are not near the power that we would have expected them to be. That a lot of their stuff is run down, whether it has to do with poor training, whether it has to do with just old equipment, whatever it is. It's not good right now. But they still have a lot of people. They have a lot of equipment. And with China on their side, it's not a good thing.
Yeah. So scary times for sure. And, we definitely, this is something we're going to have to cover extensively as time continues on. And I'm just telling you guys, all of us here agree. And I think all of you understand, like, this is serious. This ain't just, one little isolated thing. Like, this is going to have impact years and years down the road, potentially for generations. I mean, this is scary. And again, it hadn't even registered to me how weak the military has become in recent years. And that didn't just start, to like Ryan's point, like, and he knows this better than, anybody else here, but like, that didn't just start because of Biden. Like, didn't Trump sign? Didn't he get rid of critical race theory like about 2 years before he got out of office? Like, he killed that whole deal, but then they brought it back. Is that what happened?
There's a lot of stuff that you can announce that you want to do that doesn't ever come to fruition, right? Same thing with the transgenders in the military, right? We heard him, speak out and going to take action on that. That never came to fruition. So I got in under Obama. It's when I joined. Then Trump took over. And in terms of like morale, everybody was fucking excited for Trump. Everybody was super stoked for Trump. But in terms of, was there any real change? Not really. And we just saw the continued acceleration of the things that were already in place in terms of this diversity and equality training. I saw firsthand all that stuff because I ended up taking a collateral duty where I had to be involved with some of those stuff at my command. And luckily, my command was full of basically all dudes, and none of them were fucking pussies. So it was not an issue for us. and we fucking check box, hey, we did the training we were supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. Nobody really took it seriously. And we fucking went on our merry way and focused on doing our fucking jobs. That's not the way it is, depending on who you have in charge of your command. So.
Yeah, it's I thought he had signed something like 2 years before he left office though. I thought that was actually something with critical race theory that he actually signed and implemented, and it actually went to the heads of the military about how that wasn't going to continue. Am I wrong about that?
There may have been some critical race theory in terms of maybe some official training at one of the academies or something like that, but in terms of just stereotypical, hey, we're going to talk to you about why you need to be sensitive to all your black coworkers because you need to just sit there and listen to their experiences. Nah, that shit was happening at a
this is
complete
what
countrywide level.
Trump signed an executive order for West Point. Okay. So it's just okay.
So that would just be for the Army officers, that no official critical race theory course. But in terms of the mandatory training for the diversity and equality training, that was for everybody. It was an annualized training. It had to be done by everybody.
Gotcha. All right, so we do. I just got a breaking news notification from Fox News and Booty Plug, Pete Booty Plug to visit East Palestine, Ohio, 20 days after toxic train derailment. So I haven't clicked on the story to see, but I do believe this is a response to Trump showing up now. And good Lord. Let me read a couple of super chats. Thank you guys for all the support. Obviously, we try to run through several topics on here. So it's not a super chat heavy show, but I will read your super chats. And I will be doing Cobra Cast later tonight. So if there's any I need to catch up on, I'll catch up on those with Cobra Cast tonight. That will be happening after Fortnite on the Main Geeks and Gamers channel. So a busy day, but we will have Cobra Cast later on tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. I know we had 5 gifted memberships earlier. I don't remember who sent that one. We got Bashy Washy for 10. China and Russia alongside India is going into a big alliance, and most of the Middle East is going to swing their to their side. It's going to be fugly. Yes, I anticipate that it's going to be extremely ugly, beyond belief. To be fair, online college dropout. Biden is going to paint himself as a wartime president, and that's what he'll run on in 2024. I believe that. So now with how this is taken off, about a month ago, I was like, all right, I can't really see how they're going to run Biden. Now I see how they're going to run Biden. I 100% see the vision now, because it's not really that they're running Biden. They're running a wartime president. He's the one that put all this in motion. We have to support him through this. Like, that's going to be the excuse as to why he's not going to be able to have debates or do rallies. He's going to be the war. He's in his bunker handling business right now. That's the excuse as to how you run Biden now. I totally see it now.
It ain't going to work though. Like that is like the complete wrong strategy. Because it's not like when, they were successfully able to lie to everybody about some of the things that were going on in the Middle East when we got involved in those things. The vast majority of everybody was down for these things, whether you're talking about war in Afghanistan or even war in Iraq. That's not the case now. The vast majority of the public despises being involved as heavily as we are in Ukraine. The idea of boots on the ground in Ukraine is one of the most unfavorable things you could possibly imagine for people. And they have not successfully fooled everybody. Do you have people out there? Do you have these raging leftists who 20 years ago were actually speaking out? Now we know accurately about getting involved in Iraq. These people are now spearheading and like, yes, go to war for Zelensky. Here's my Ukrainian flag. It's crazy, but I don't think that will work if that's the strategy they want to go with. And you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna be displaying strength by being a wartime president when you can't even walk up your own fucking stairs to your plane.
Can you show that real quick? Do you have that pulled up? So Biden fell down again. Biden fell down again today.
No, not again.
He fell up.
Yeah, he fell up again. While he's looking at that, We got the steel leg of history. Suresh, I don't know if anybody told you at 221B, but I received an extra J plushie signed one by mistake. I called and told them that I would send it back. Are you aware of that one? I think that's Robert. So
I know, but I'm sure the customer service team is aware. So thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, he's good people. He's good people. All right, so here's oh my god, dude, this is so
Joe.
embarrassing. Here it goes. Good lord.
Is this him leaving Ukraine?
Yes,
Poland,
or
Poland
or Ukraine, one or the other.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. This is
Did you see not Gap? Why do I call him Gavin Newsom? Fucking Trudeau. Did you see Trudeau trip over the flower
The
pot?
pot?
Yesterday?
That was funny. That was funny. Like I can see, like, that's whatever. Like he's fucking is like talking and like hits the pot. Like I get that one. He did look really funny when he almost fell. But like, holy shit, man. Now I know there was a lot of people saying he fell down like an entire flight of stairs. That wasn't him. That wasn't
him.
fucking Biden. The president doesn't walk with 18,000 other members of the press. They go by themselves like this. So that is real. That's Joe Biden.
That's unbelievable.
Show Alec Baldwin's finger wants you to show Trudeau. So I'll get some super chats where we do that. Jaegerbomb says, you made the right call getting out, Ryan. Those of us who stayed in are at risk of suffering something way worse than Afghanistan. Let's go, Brandon. Yeah.
Yeah. 1000% agree.
Samurai Fader says, sorry about your cheeks, Suresh. Alec Baldwin's finger. Suresh was great on Tuesday night's main event. He should be on more often.
Oh,
man. You're kind of trapped at this point. You're kind of trapped at this point. So,
so here's Trudeau fucking waving. I don't know why there's a fucking flower pot right here. Like it's empty. There's nothing there. But Trudeau's about to find out the hard way that it's right in front of him.
I wish he would have face planted, dude.
Oh my goodness.
That would have been so great.
Like in reality, he's lucky that he's young. Like, because if that would have been Biden or maybe even Trump, honestly, just because
Trump would have tanked on that one. He would have fallen. He would have been boomed.
I think he would have as well.
Yeah.
So he's lucky that he's still nimble. But that's fucking rough. Look at how short this guy is. What the fuck? This guy's like an Oompa Loompa.
One more time.
Oh my goodness. How do you not see that? That's like poor peripheral vision.
Oh man.
There's somebody yelling and he's like waving to him. So
don't forget. Don't forget.
Never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus kids' rights to not.
These guys don't even know what any of those letters mean, by the way. They have no idea.
There's a lot of them to keep straight, Suresh. So they keep adding them too. So I get it.
Yeah.
Plus, it's tough to keep track of.
Oh my goodness.
Beastie Man 420 says, hail right back at you. It's John Pro says, you say Biden is the worst. I think FDR still has him beat, albeit not by much. Fair. Beastie Man says Ukraine conflict equals scam war. Ezra Miller's cellmate. Did y'all see where the Tates got an extension? I did see that. Freaking. You guys know how I feel about it. So it's fucking bullshit. So Bashy Washy becomes a member. I thought you were already a member here, Bashy Washy. We have so many channels. So Bashy Washy's been supporting everywhere. Before Movies Sucked becomes a member. Sparta Chris. Hey Suresh, did Jay offer you some J&As when he was asking you about your underwear model?
Oh my God, it was so bizarre. Jay's so innocent. He doesn't even know when he's being awkward or like weird. And I'm like, he's like, you can't get mad at him. He's just so amazing. He's so amazing.
So freaking Jay. Where's he at, by the way? Is he at 30? It's like 32,000 now. So
we got to get that to 50. So, let's get that to 50.
I think it's going to get to 50.
Yeah, we should get that to 50.
30 days on the campaign, right?
Yeah, I think so. Scott McKenzie gifts he was the one that gifted 5 Geeks and Gamers memberships. Thank you, Scott McKenzie. Eric K, Federal Emergency Management Agency. Nothing about natural. Yeah, this whole thing has been like, so Booty, I want to look up Booty Plug and see what,
he's going to officially visit Thursday. So
okay.
There was a lot of talk that after Trump announced that he was going there, that the administration panicked and that they needed to send Pete there. But they were going to, this is just all what people have said, what some sources have said. They were then going to try to schedule him on Wednesday to overshadow Trump's visit. But apparently some of the local authorities and politicians said, if Trump's there, we're not going to meet with fucking Pete Buttigieg. We're going to meet with Trump. So that kind of forced them into a situation where they then did the day after Trump is there to not get completely embarrassed. But what the reports have said from some people in the know is that, hey, like they were not going to go until Trump went.
It's so funny that Buttigieg, like if you're coming and Trump's here, we don't really care about you. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Yeah. So I don't know. Do we have an update on where Trump's at? Is he in the air currently traveling there? So from reports, he's going to be bringing, a lot of different supplies, water, things like that. He's going to bring a ton of enthusiasm and build morale up for sure. And again, man, like, I don't know how, I can't imagine how it feels to be in the area right now. You know what I mean? I just can't comprehend it. And the isolation that they must feel with how the government is treating them in that area. And again, big shout out to Benny Johnson for what he did. That was an amazing situation with Benny. And I know he helped bring a lot of attention to the situation that most of the left-leaning politicians are not highlighting at all. So big shout out to him for sure. But moving forward, I mean, it comes down to leadership. And do you guys think, like, I know we all like Ron DeSantis here. We all like Ron DeSantis. Do you guys think that, like, if Trump, like, I think Trump's hit another level in the past week right now, with everything going on and how he's handling this. Do you guys think, like, as this gets further into it, Trump's going to have to be more hands-on and just be more aggressive and getting himself physically involved in communities and areas within this country? Do you think that's the right move for him moving forward?
I think so. The reality is DeSantis has to be careful, because Trump has more autonomy right now. He can go to Ohio. He can go to places around the country where incidents occur and be present. DeSantis has to be careful, because then they're going to use that against him. So even if DeSantis wanted to go to Ohio right now for some reason, it would be a bad look, and they would turn it against him, saying, hey, this guy's he's got his eye on 2024. And look, he's leaving the state. Let's not even talk about how much time Biden has spent in Delaware and not at the White House. But so they would hold that against DeSantis for sure. So he has to be very careful how much time he spends outside the state. It would be a bad look for him. Trump, on the other hand, is being very smart in being out in the public eye. How can you say, like, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see how people will spin how Donald Trump going to Ohio is somehow a bad thing. Because we know the ladies on The View and the insane, like, lunatics on the left are going to somehow spin that Donald Trump going to Ohio and handing out water and helping the people there is somehow a bad thing. We all know we're going to see it. So he knows that. Trump knows that. Trump expects that. But he doesn't care. He's doing it because, hey, like you said, he's got to be out there. He's got to have his face out there, and he's got to be able to say when the time comes, hey, when that tragedy happened in Ohio, I was there. I didn't have to be there, but I was there. Where was Mayor Pete? Where was Biden? Where was Biden? Biden spent plenty of time before his trip to Ukraine going to, his private basement in Delaware for, I don't know how much of, like, I think they said it was over 40% of his first 2 years he spent in Delaware. So I think this is brilliant. I know that Trump is going to be ready for the onslaught for him going there, but he has more autonomy right now than DeSantis. DeSantis can't make those moves right now.
Yep. No, I mean, it's, I just personally, I don't think I just don't think DeSantis can compete with Trump anyway, even if he had the flexibility and stuff like that. But you're right, he does have to be careful because he has a state to worry about, and that puts him
Even the trip
behind
that
the
he
eight
took
ball.
to even the trip that he took to New York was highly criticized.
Yes.
And that was specifically to talk to law enforcement people. One of the reasons is because Florida needs more police officers. I don't think they do. I got fucking pulled over last night for speeding. I think you got enough of them.
I got you, Ryan. Don't worry. We'll talk later. I got you.
All right, perfect. But yeah, so like, because even that, it's like, hey, where are these funds coming from for this travel? Is he fucking campaigning? Does it count as a campaign? So there were already those questions just with a planned trip to New York to talk to law enforcement officers.
I think that was a brilliant move. That was a brilliant move. And I don't think, once again, of course I saw some people, trying to spin it that he's going up there to steal police officers. He's not going up there to steal police officers. He's saying if you are unhappy, and trust me, I know about when morale is low as a police officer. It's like the worst thing in the world to go out there to do a job that your actions could potentially take the life of someone else in the time that you're trying to maybe save yourself or save someone else. Those actions may hurt someone else, and to know that your department and your administration is not behind you or may go against you just to like appease the woke mob from burning the city down, that's not a good feeling at all. So I know personally tons of cops in New York, New Jersey, that if given the right opportunity are ready to get the hell out of there because they just don't feel the support from their administration, from their department. So you know what? Hey, if he's going to afford someone a better opportunity to take care of their family, take care of their children, they can get a better retirement situation and have the support from their governor, from their mayor, from their local police department, their town council. Hey, listen, this is all about survival. I have no problem with DeSantis doing that.
Yep.
And that's why I think that this is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Lisa picked up on it. So
that's one of the reasons I was late. Yes.
Go ahead, Ryan.
But again, that's why I think that that Trump going to Ohio is such a great move for him. I think it comes off much better than the snipes at DeSantis for whatever those reasons are happening, for whatever's going on behind the scenes. I think that publicly, this is a way better look to go there, to go to these people who are suffering, to take positive action for something like this. It's one of the things that DeSantis has been able to do a lot over the past year. We've seen a lot of DeSantis going to these places, going to a college, going to here to talk about, kids in school, going here to talk about conservation in Florida, whatever it may be. He's been able to really capitalize on that, on governing. And this is an opportunity for Trump, without the ability to govern right now, lead from the front lines and show people what a president should be doing. And he's taking full advantage of it. And I think it's going to work out perfectly for him.
Good stuff for sure on Trump's side. And we need it now more than ever for sure. Scott McKenzie says, y'all rock. The Donald gets middle America working class. Watch some of his more personal interactions with folks, which are heartfelt. Biden is a puppet. Well said. Cliff says, did you notice Zelensky is never in formal attire when he greets another head of state? Then again, do you dress formally when you go to the ATM? That's pretty funny.
That's good.
That is pretty funny.
It's all about he wants to come off as a wartime figure. The same way
he's an actor.
Same way someone like Churchill was wearing a flight suit and things like that, during World War II, because you want to give off that notion that you're prepared for battle. You're in a war, whether you're lying or not, right? Like Zelensky is about how serious some of the stuff that's going on is. It's worked for some people. You know what I mean? Like that public perception's tricked a lot of people, but not enough for me.
DM says this stolen election has consequences beyond insane. Bird Gang says D-Day Cobra, Ukraine is the modern day Vietnam. Gerald Armstrong, if you want to know how this will play out, pay attention to what army divisions get sent there. GMU alum says, think about that precedent. Zelensky addressing this State of the Union, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, so dude, they treated him like he was Christ coming to Earth at that. Was it State of the Union? Is that what?
No,
it was?
that wasn't State of the Union.
That
That was just
he just
his
came.
visit.
So
his
he just
visit.
came. He just came to
Ask for
to
more money.
Congress.
Ask
Yeah.
for
To
more
spoke
money
to
to speak
Congress.
to
Okay.
Congress. Yeah,
Okay,
ask for more
yeah.
money.
So GMU alum, it was not State of the Union, but it was a speech in front of Congress.
It was Zelensky's State of the Union.
It's
Yeah,
what
it was. It was.
That's essentially
It
what
was.
it was.
It was.
Let's see. Jorge Barracuda says, didn't make it through last night's Tuesday night's main event, but I went to sleep laughing. Still got to make my way through Ryan and D-Day Cobra streams. Keep up the great content. Hail Suresh, Ryan, Jeremy, and the chat. Thank you, man. Hope you're enjoying all the content we're providing here, whether it's, Geeks and Gamers, whether it's Ryan just crushing videos out over on RK Outpost, Suresh, with it minus his terrible thumbnails, is putting out great content. And obviously Cobra Cast has been crushing it here. So I really appreciate you guys. Osbana Adventure says, are you guys okay with Con Inc. blocking out conservatives who question our relationship with Israel by labeling it anti-Semitic? It seems hypocritical. So are you guys okay with Con Inc. blocking out conservatives? What does it mean by Con Inc.?
Like the establishment.
So the establishment. Okay.
Can you read the whole question again?
Are you guys okay with Con Inc. blocking out conservatives who question? I think he means our, because it says our, but our relationship with Israel by labeling it anti-Semitic. It seems hypocritical.
That's just a reality of the political landscape that we're in right now. Both sides are very friendly to Israel and all Israel interests. And
Conservative Inc. Okay.
Yeah. If you ever question that, there's like some people, if you question what we're doing with Israel, there will be a lot of people that come out and attack you. Be like, what? You have a problem with Jewish people? You have a problem with this? It's like, no, I mean, so it's right to question where some of our money is going. In the same way that we're talking about Ukraine, there's no problem with asking why we might be using so much of our money for Israel, for the defense of Israel. But there's a much different connotation surrounding that, whether you're on the left or on the right, if you question that. I do think there should be plenty of reason to question everything, where our money is going. When we're $31 trillion in debt, that's a big fucking problem. So I don't think just because someone questions our very, very tight relationship with Israel and whether it should be that tight, whether we should be giving them that much money, that doesn't make someone anti-Semitic at all. But that's the label that gets put on nearly everyone now.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama just with the conservative side in general right now, whether it be, the Blaze situation, whether it be Daily Wire and Crowder. There was another one just the other day. There was something that happened. What was it? I can't remember. But there's just stuff all over the place right now on the conservative side. It's getting kind of ugly, man. Gerald Armstrong says history doesn't repeat, it rhymes. Cliff says, watch if China allows Russia to utilize the occupied territories under China's Belt and Road Initiative. That'll show how much they are cooperating. Gerald Armstrong says lower ASVAB scores for entry to clearing PT failures for retention. It's bad. Let's see. Gremlin Anku, I think I'm saying that right. I know 5 people knocking out their top or captain to buy themselves a bit of jail time and get booted because they can't stand the woke BS in the army anymore. Yeah, and the woke nonsense it's just everywhere. When we started talking about this shit with just video games and movies, and it was all dismissed by a lot of the conservative talking points or the conservative heads, the powers that be, the mainstream media, whatever you want to say. It was just, dumb nerds talking about video games and their comic book movies and the laser sword movie. And you see how much it's affected every single aspect of life, because what is it? Politics downstream from culture. It's like, it's just crazy, man, that it's every fucking where you turn. It's even at the highest levels of our military now. It wasn't just about bitching about comic book movies and video games. It was so much bigger than that. And here we are, where everything is covered in it now. Steel leg of history, Ryan. I couldn't find any really cool Sith fights on display, but I got you a cool Emperor with Force Lightning. I hope you like it, Ryan. Be blessed.
Nice. Thank you.
Appreciate
Look
that.
forward to that. That's cool.
And Cliff says, guys, please get Terrence Popp as a guest on this show. He's a retired a U.S. Army Special Forces first sergeant. Let's see. I think it's first sergeant with a lot of insight on military cultural shifts and political issues, both domestic and abroad. Terrence Popp. Are you familiar with him, Ryan?
Terrence Popp?
Yeah, Terrence Popp.
I don't think I know the name.
Okay. Not familiar with him, but we can look it up. We're always like, as this show continues to expand, I mean, we're really happy about it. We may back it up another hour. I'm not sure. We're talking about that. We also might bump main event up an hour earlier because the show just continues to run later and later. And obviously we were up very late. I don't know. I'm streaming all hours of the night. It doesn't really matter to me at this point in time, whether it's gaming streams or Cobra Cast or main event, Friday Night Tights, whatever. It seems like I'm streaming every day of the week at this point, so I'm game for whatever. But main event is a long show usually. I mean, it usually goes 3 hours. Last night it went over 4, but that's a testament to all of you. And we're there until the end. Obviously me and Ryan are trying to start. We're getting ready to start a daily stream on Geeks and Gamers to talk about the different topics of the week in the entertainment world. That's only going to go for like an hour. It's going to be kind of similar to this show where we just try to hammer out a couple of topics, talk to the chat a little bit, and give you guys a little bit of content every day. So we'll keep you guys posted on that for sure. Aid Robertson says, the Snake Pit IRL, take my money, guys. The Snake Pit, that's the chat. That's all of you right there. The Snake Pit. You love it, man. You love it. So, Linzer says, current nuke, let's see, dependent eponymous here. Let's see, dependent eponymous here. And the Navy has gotten nicely worse every year over the 10 we've been attached. Many good men gone, but a few stayed.
So a dependopotamus is someone who gets married to someone in the military. And then they just, don't have to do anything. They just fucking, live off them and probably get fat or whatever. So that's what
a lot of times they start out enormous.
No, that's funny though. It said she was married to a nuke. Is that what they said?
Yes, current nuke. Yep.
Current nuke dependopotamus. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the self-awareness. You own it. I love it. So.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Clifton 3D, for a member message says, I also think Woodrow Wilson is more evil. For the Emperor 999, I highlighted that one. I appreciate that. ZD Killian says, did you see Biden's tweet about Ohio yesterday? Did he make a tweet about Ohio?
Someone on his team apparently did.
So there's two different, there's the official POTUS account, and then there's the Joe Biden account. I didn't see either one, but I don't follow. So, Hayden Jerko says Trump's landing in Youngstown Air Base right behind my buddy's house. Also leaving Saturday night for Florida trip. Hayden, be safe, buddy. Be safe. Sparta Chris for Fitty. Would you guys be up to reviewing and talking about The Naked Communist, a novel written in the 60s with some updates since then? It's about the communist attempts to infiltrate and manipulate the USA. Gothics did a little review on it a month ago. Sounds like that's there you go. Suresh is all on it right there. So Sparta Chris, thank you. So I have to look in that. I'll look at Gothic's review too. I'd like to check that out. Shout out to Gothic. She's great. Big fan of Gothics. She is super awesome. So I'll definitely have to check that out. Before movie sucked, interesting thought. If Trump wins 2024, uphill battle, but he's got my full support. How many media outlets will immediately start talking about election shenanigans in 2020 as if they just uncovered it? In my opinion, they are willing to do anything and everything to keep Trump out of office. Here's what my prediction will be. If you thought that the resistance of Donald Trump in 2016 was bad, and then we saw what happened in 2020, if you thought 2020 was bad, you haven't seen anything yet. 2024 is going to be a fucking nightmare. Now, I want to show everybody something really quick, and I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this, okay? But this is crazy. This This is psychotic, but this is the type of mindset that we're dealing with, and what Donald Trump is going to be dealing with as he continues to face attacks to the level that is just unbelievable. Have you guys seen this right here? This foreperson for the grand jury that investigated Donald Trump. This is a psychopath.
This person looks like a fucking demon.
Yeah, no, this is unbelievable. Here we go.
Did you personally want to hear from the former president?
I wanted to hear from the former president, but honestly, I kind of wanted to subpoena the former president because I got to swear everybody in. And so I thought it'd be really cool to get 60 seconds with President Trump of me looking at him and being like, do you solemnly swear? And me getting to swear him in. I kind of just thought that would be an awesome moment.
Oh my
what
God.
the fuck?
And this is actually a really good thing for Trump, to be honest with you. The fact that you have the foreperson of the jury who's trying to indict him for all this shit, you have them coming out and speaking and looking like this and admitting to like all of these like ulterior motives. That is immediate. They're going to throw out the case.
Dismissal.
Immediate
dismissal.
And it's not just that. Here, let's
there's another one. There's another one. There's more.
Let me pull this up real quick. And then Anderson Cooper's reaction to this.
Yes.
There are indictments recommended, of course. Is it more than 12 people? Is it more than 20 people?
I think if you look at the page numbers of the report, there's about 6 pages in the middle that got cut out. Allow for spacing. It's not a short list.
Not a short list. More, I mean, when it comes to 75 witnesses, like, it's not, I assume, of course, it's not 75 people. Would you characterize it as 20-ish people?
I can't say I counted.
Okay. More than a dozen, though, I think I'd heard you say in another interview.
I believe so. That's probably a good assumption.
Oh my God.
What is happening right now?
Bro, listen to fucking Anderson Cooper. Look at what he says about this shit. I love this.
This person is talking on TV. I do not understand because she's clearly enjoying herself.
Yeah.
But I mean, is this responsible? She was the foreperson of this grand jury.
This was a horrible idea, and I guarantee prosecutors are wincing watching her go on this.
I was wincing just watching her eagerness to hint at stuff.
It's painful in that respect. This is a very serious prospect here. We're talking
like the fact that CNN themselves are criticizing.
Keep it going.
All right, their own appearance is nuts.
About indicting any person. You're talking about potentially taking away that person's liberty. We're talking about potentially a former president for the first time in this nation's history. She does not seem to be taking that very seriously.
There's no reason for her to be out talking.
No,
I mean,
it's a prosecutor's nightmare. Mark my words. Donald Trump's team is going to make a motion if there's an indictment to dismiss that indictment based on grand jury impropriety. She's not supposed to be talking about anything really, but she's really not supposed to be talking about the deliberations. She's talking about what specific witnesses they saw, what the grand jury thought of them. She says some of them we found credible, some of them we found funny. I don't know why that's relevant, but she's been saying we found this guy funny or interesting. I think she's potentially crossing a line here. It's going to be a real problem for her.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Also, I love what someone in the comments, Jay, when CNN says you're cringe, you went too far.
Yeah, man, like
and what do you know? They found this person's Pinterest, and it's all a bunch of fucking like witchcraft stuff.
Wow.
No.
Alchemy. Yeah. There's a bunch of witchcraft stuff here. Transmutation circles, planetary metals. Yeah. There's some weird shit right here. They're put look at fucking Charlie Kirk. Emily Kors, the foreperson of the Trump grand jury, really putting the witch in witch hunt.
Jesus.
Oh my God. This is like a movie.
Listen, she looks like a demon. And now we find out that she's into witchcraft and stuff like that. I'm just saying. That's how you open yourself up to that kind of thing. So,
oh my God.
This is a fair point that I will push back on, but it's a fair point. Roxanne Wynn says people need to understand Trump is too old. He will be 78 by 2024, and it will be falling upstairs then too. It's a fair point. 100%. I don't think that is something that people should just dismiss, because Look, even Father Time has even defeated Tom Brady. Okay, so I mean, Father Time is undefeated. All right, now Donald Trump is a very young 78 right now, right?
Yes.
That was so he's a very young. Is that what she said? Or did she say by 2024?
No,
right?
by 2024
he
he'll be
78. He's
Yeah.
70, so he's 76, 77 now, something like that. He's a very young 77. You know what I mean?
He's 76 right now. He's 76 right now.
So he will be 78 by the time he gets in office.
Correct.
Yes. So
yeah.
And look, you could see a significant change in his, like, I will say, like, Trump's energy is not quite what it was in 2016 and even in 2020. You know, when he made his announcement, a little bit down. Now, could that have been a strategic, decision? Maybe. I tend to not believe that with Trump because that's not really how he operates. He's usually just Trump, no matter what. But his age is a valid concern, definitely. The only thing I'll say is, like, he just really does have a younger spirit to him than you would think for being that age. But a year from now, he could look a lot different. I mean, even Biden, I talked about this, like Biden was already kind of losing it in the
Biden. Listen,
but
Biden looks like he's
Biden's-
100.
He has aged so much in the last 4 years, dude. Biden has. Holy fuck.
The way
he was already in
walks-
bad shape.
The
Yeah.
way he walks is like just so troubling. Like he
Yeah.
shuffles,
Yeah.
like the
really
shuffle, because like he's worried about falling.
Yeah.
Like that's the age he's at right now.
Yeah.
And it shows, and it's very weak. So yeah, there's no doubt that Trump is in better mental health, unquestionably, than Biden.
Yeah.
And at this point, better physical health. Now, I'm not going to say that. I know Donald Trump would say, they all say I'm in peak physical condition. I know Trump would say that. I think we understand that's not the case. However, he's much better physically and mentally when you combine those things than Biden is right now. But yeah, he's not quite the same. And we haven't seen him really interacting with a lot of people. We haven't seen him interacting with the press. We haven't seen him like doing those daily when he's, getting on Marine One and stops and talk to reporters and gives fucking one-liners and witty comebacks. We haven't seen that shit in a long time from Trump because he's not in those situations. So,
but I think
when
we
he does
all
really hit the campaign trail, that's really going to be telling.
We all want to see stuff like this, though, and we're going to see it again.
To call Biden a criminal. Why is that?
He is a criminal. He's a criminal. He got caught. Read his laptop. And you know who's a criminal? You're a criminal for not reporting it. You are a criminal for not reporting it. Let me tell you something. Joe Biden is a criminal, and he's been a criminal for a long time. And you're a criminal in the media for not reporting it. Good luck, everybody. Have a good
Good luck, everybody. Have a good day.
Love it. I love it.
Yes. That's my fucking president right there.
I love that, man.
So,
I love that, man.
But to Ryan's point, like that, we haven't seen him in that situation in a while. And how is he going to be a couple of years later? It's a valid question and it's a valid concern. I believe Trump is perfectly fine to handle it, but it is a valid question. So
let me ask you guys something. Should there be an age limit on our commander in chief?
I don't think so, because as we can see with these two right now, there's a vast difference. They're nearly the same age, right? But there's a vast difference in their capabilities. This is why there is supposed to be a medical examination of these guys. I think that needs to be much more nonpartisan and much more open. I think that if you are running for office, I think it's in the public's best interest to know everything that's going on with you health-wise. And yeah, is that invasive? Certainly it is, but you're running for president. You know what I mean? Everyone is voting to put you in charge. I think people need to know exactly what your health status is.
But we'll never
I don't know what you could put into motion to make something like that more open or to make it more fair and unbiased. It's never going to be unbiased. You know what I mean? But that's kind of how I feel about it.
I think there's a difference between the reality is we're never going to see, Biden just had a physical, right? He just had a physical a few days ago.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And we're never going to see the actual results of that test. The results of that test could be he has full-blown dementia. He can't walk. Whatever. We as the American public will never know the actual results of that test. So that's the problem. That's the problem here. And that is something that we all need to understand. It doesn't matter who's in there. We'll never get the real results.
Yeah. We just got this 5 from Bobby Yogi says, or Bobo Yogi says, greeting from East Palestine. Don't believe anything the media is saying. 51-year resident, we're fine here. Trump's coming to town in about 45 minutes. So that's pretty interesting.
I find that interesting. That like, don't believe anyone, because that would mean anyone on either side.
Yeah.
You know,
so what is
fine here?
So what is the, so give me the specifics. And again, I can only take your super chat at face value that you are a resident and all that, and greatly appreciate that. So what does that mean? Don't believe the media, the left media, the right media? Are we not to believe Benny Johnson? We know Benny Johnson personally. Benny Johnson's a fantastic person. So so what does that mean exactly?
And what does "we're fine here" mean? Because I'm seeing video after video after video of people who live in the area who are saying they are not fine, and there's no one with a gun to their head. These are just reporters going around saying, hey, what's going on? How do you feel? And these people are saying, we're not okay here. Something is going on. They're showing iridescent water in their streams. They're showing their animals that are dead. And it's on video. So what does "we're fine" define fine?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'd like to know, the specifics of that. Hayden for 10. What up, Hayden? Can you guys run long today and cover the Trump visit? I mean, I can stay live. But I know these guys are gonna have to get out of here. So I might stay live. So we'll see. I don't know. Depends. I do. So I have to go. I have to run an errand here in about an hour and a half. So I will see. I probably can't, but I'm not going to shut the door to it either, because I'm a sucker for super chats. All right, Joe C says,
I don't know how much there's going to be to cover. That's what I don't know how much there's going to be to cover. Like, he's going to land and stuff like that, and I'm sure he's going to go and talk to a bunch of people. I just, you have no idea when the stuff's going to be available for us to talk about. So definitely something you can cover later on Cobra Cast, though.
Yes, and I definitely will. Thank you for the plug, Ryan. Joe C818, pure blood, great stream, guys. The sad part is it won't be until one of our military fleet battle groups or entire battalion is wiped out in a matter of minutes until we the people end this madness. It's really scary. The whole situation is really scary.
Jeremy, please read the one before movies sucked.
Hang on. Let's see. Before?
Oh my God.
Oh, you mean Eric K's?
Yeah, I love it.
From before movie sucked. There it is. I have to give Ben Shapiro props for this one. It must be awesome to be Joe Biden. Every day he wakes up and someone tells him he's the president.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's pretty
good. That was good. That is
let's see. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, okay, seeing Joe trip again, it's just embarrassing. It is just embarrassing. And there's Spartacus's, and again, Spartacus, I will check that out. And thank you for the $50 super chat, Spartacus. Green-haired anti-liberal says, Ohio strong shirts with proceeds going to those impacted, similar to the Florida strong shirts from 9 Line. No pressure, just a thought. That's a hint to Suresh. So
we can do it.
The woke breaker says Brie Larson's feet can run the country better than old Grandpa Biden. Hail all. GMU alum says, what I feel like is being ignored about Trump is the media's ability to galvanize people against him. We need to win in 2024. I mean, I'm very aware of what their ability is to do, and they're going to utilize this Ukraine situation. That's what I mean. They're going to utilize this big time. Mr. Bentham says, loving the streams. Keep it up, brother. Thank you. And again, for those that didn't hear earlier, Cobra Cast will be live later tonight after the Fortnite stream on the main Geeks and Gamers channel. So Fortnite happens, usually runs until about probably 11 Eastern, and then I'll do Cobra Cast right after, and we'll go as long as we need to go. And let's see, Mr. Bubba Matt, stuff like this makes me glad I voted for Trump. Absolutely. Eric K. Ryan, how would they do that to the Dem from Pennsylvania who was elected to the House after he was dead? Anthony Tony DeLuca, 2022.
DeLuca, probably.
DeLuca.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they would do that. I don't know how you do a medical evaluation of someone who got elected after they were already dead. Imagine they wouldn't qualify, though.
I heard that.
That also would have removed that person from the ballot. So
Yep. Anti-Pattern says George Soros wants DeSantis to run. Ignore the dissents and it's all an op. I mean, I heard that comments from George Soros. I feel like he was reading something. I don't feel like he was making a statement, but I also couldn't hardly understand anything George Soros was saying.
Yeah, there's also like people who have tried to Photoshop Christina Pushaw in like as if she met with George Soros, like all this shit. It's like
a
lot of tryhards out there. So
yeah. So I mean, we're at the end of the show now, so I don't think we're going to be able to stretch it out because Trump's not landing for another 30 or 40 minutes, and then it's probably another 40 minutes before we actually, because they have to secure the area. You know what I mean? There's a lot that goes into that. Could be a couple of hours from him actually making an appearance. Not sure. So we'll cover that on Cobra Cast for sure later tonight, and I'm looking forward to that. But this has been another of our one of our untitled political streams. I did like this one really quick. Where is that? I like try Cobra Cast. Just saying, a little branding there. I'm just thinking about branding. Okay. Anyway, it's not going to be try Cobra Cast, but I just thought that was funny. That was a funny comment, so I highlighted it. So, I got this one. I forgot this one. Black and White Network. This was earlier. Gentlemen, have a great stream. Listening while editing. Please tick off some liberals on my behalf. Rhodes. That's what's up, Rhodes. Appreciate you, buddy.
Donald Trump is never wrong. He's been right about everything.
Yeah.
Ian having a meltdown.
Yeah, I heard that. Oh man. But Ryan, what do you got going on, man?
I don't know. I gotta make some more videos for Patriot Outpost. I've had a very hectic past week or so. So I'm ready to get back to the grind.
Yeah, man. So go subscribe to Patriot Outpost. We will be live with this show on Patriot Outpost next week. So make sure you subscribe to Patriot Outpost. We'll probably, like I said, once we really we're kind of getting into our groove on this, and we want to bring some more guests on. We've had Drew Hernandez on a couple times, which you were actually on with Drew Suresh, so that was pretty cool. You guys,
that was awesome. I was on his President's Day special episode on Monday, so you guys can check that over on Drew's channel, Frontlines.
Nice, it's good stuff, man. So right over there, Rumble. Suresh, what do you got going on, man?
Oh man, I got like 3 videos that are ready to go up on at the situation with Suresh over on the YouTube channel, and of course, running the everyday stuff for 221B Tactical. Love that you guys keep expanding into. We got Josiah now with his new gear dropping. So if you guys, any of you who are following Josiah in the Epic Verse, we got his hat and his T-shirt dropping in just a couple of days. So and we got some other things going on with someone who's actually getting roasted right now on Twitter. So, but we may have some merch coming for him as well. Just keeping busy and loving doing this collab with you guys. It's an amazing time, and just managing everything else in life as usual. I got projects around the house I got to get done too, and then I got to plan and get ready for my trip to the Geeks and Gamers Casa, which is coming up. I think, what did we say, next week? Whenever
you want, man. Get your ass over here. Let's do it. We got Geeks and Gamers bags. Maybe we can do some Cobra Cast bags too. Just
first of all, we gotta get the D-Day Cobra merch live. Yes. But if we can get some Cobra Cast bags, oh man, forget about it.
Yes, let's do it. Snake Pit, rise up. Let them know you want to see it. Let's go to 221B Tactical. Get your Geeks and Gamers merch. I'll be live later tonight. I've got a couple of videos I'm going to be throwing up on this channel as well. I got content going up on Geeks and Gamers very soon from clips from Tuesday night's main event. We got more super chats I got to get to before we leave because you are not being left hanging. Gremlin says, did you guys see the EPA people drink someone's tap water in EP, Ohio?
I didn't see the clip if they did.
Has to be staged. Has to be staged.
Yeah, I didn't see that. So
If you had a water filter under the sink.
Somebody tag me on Twitter with that if there's a clip of it so we can check it out. Jenna Hughes says, so glad I stumbled upon you. The first one I've been able to attend live. Suresh's smile is contagious. Thanks for putting all this BS in a cohesive perspective. You're appreciated. Cobra for president. Snake pit cabinet. Hey, the sky's the limit. Okay. The sky's the limit, Jenna. Thank you for the super chat. I'm glad you're enjoying the content here. Of course, go check out Geeks and Gamers. Check out RK Outpost. Go check out the situation with Suresh. All good people, good stuff all the way around. It's John Bro. Hail all. Ryan, former comms Marine. Thanks for the ride. Jeremy, I sent a super chat. I'm not sure you saw reason Trump, but another point, we need a Matt Walsh style of dialogue about the left, and I don't think DeSantis is capable of it. I mean, I think DeSantis is certainly capable. We've seen him go to task with Disney, and some other stuff. I mean, what is his whole slogan is Florida is where woke goes to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I
think he's been pretty hard about social issues, to be honest with you.
And thank you. It's John. I think like what's going to happen is I'm going to probably get more and more critical of DeSantis as we get further into this election. But it's not that I have anything against DeSantis. It's just my loyalty is with Donald Trump. And that's really what it comes down to. I love Ron DeSantis. And I think Ron DeSantis has all the ability in the world. To me, I'd say 75% of the audience is not going to care about this comparison I'm going to make. But it's the best comparison I can make. Trump is Jordan and DeSantis is Kobe. I fucking love Kobe Bryant. He's just not Jordan. Mm-hmm. I love DeSantis. He's just not Trump. That's what this comes down to. You know what I mean? And I think both people are very viable, but one is just greater than the other. And Trump he's Trump and nobody is close. That's how I view it. But I do love Ron DeSantis. Let's see. Big Raj. Hey, guys. Thanks for distracting me while I got my first ever filling. Oof. Hey, bro. Whatever.
Hey, man. You've gone a long time without getting a filling, though. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah.
So there you go on that.
You got good teeth.
Yes. Spartacus says the situation with RK Cobra. We gotta figure out a fucking name for this. We got
it's too good. But I actually kind of like that we have no name and people keep coming with awesome suggestions.
Yeah, that's
I know. Well, that's how like Cobra Cast got named. I'm pretty sure that you guys on this stream named Cobra Cast.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I just took it because you were like, you should name this Cobra Cast IRL. And I'm like, I can't name this show with us three because it's not my show. It's our show. But I can name my own show that. And then we ran with the Tim Pool meme. So you guys named Cobra Cast IRL. So look, you named Friday Night Tights. You know what I mean? Like that was something that Gary got from the chat. Gary ain't smart enough to come up with some awesome gimmick like that. He got it from the chat. So chat's always the MVP. Trump is that dude. I agree. Okay, we're gonna call it there. Sorry we can't hang for Trump's appearance there, but I will cover it on CobraCast IRL tonight. I see you, Cobra Crew United. Snake Pit Rise Up. Thank you, Hayden. Sorry I couldn't continue on, but your support greatly appreciated. 3 guys, 1 stream. All right, so smash the melee button. We're almost up to 1,000 likes. We hit 1,500 viewers today here. I see you over on Rumble. We had almost 100 people on Rumble. My D-Day Cobra channel, which is just getting started over there. We need to get a signal boost on that one over there, but we're doing great over there. So we'll see you tonight for Fortnite on the main Geeks Gamers channel, and then Cobra Cast here on this channel a little bit later. Appreciate you all. Just keep paying attention to everything going on because it's just getting really, really scary. Thanks to Suresh. Thanks to Ryan. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.